All right. Now we should. Ah, there we are. We're online. Okay, good. Welcome, welcome. We are. We are. I am. In the process of coming back from a deload week where I completely dumped everything. Actually, it was 2 weeks. I went 2 weeks without lifting, and I was doing good. I came up with a new program that I was working on, which we can take a look at over here. Let's actually go to there we go. Go to my routines over there. Okay. So what I had done is I had switched up to a push-pull style workout. I'd say probably on the largely on the advice of Brian Elsher, who had mentioned he has some kind of like so many more pulls and pushes and whatever. I didn't do that, but I did dump the single day per week because I've been having problems with my shoulder. Shoulders, plural, I'll even say. And they've been bothering me a lot, and so I decided that I'd take 2 weeks off, get them rested up. Everything was good. I went back in Monday, back in chest, kind of swung them together, and came up with this particular workout here, which you can see. I start off with a lot of like movement type of exercises where I get the my shoulder joints opened up. Get the sinusoidal fluid, sinusoidal, yeah, fluid into the joints before I even get down to the fourth exercise here, which is the flat bench. I hit the big four every week, only once. One day, I should say. I do accessory workouts in the other ones, but I already need to change this up because what I found is that by the time I got to, and I started this a day late. I started this on Tuesday of last week because I had some problems on Monday trying to build this program where I didn't get it done until this time of night, like 11:30. And I was like, you know what? There's no way I'm going to get this done on a work night where I'm not going to be up until 1:30 in the morning trying to work out. So I did some cardio and went to bed. So Tuesday I hit this. Things are going fairly well. Monday, Tuesday. Tuesdays was arms and shoulders one. I did some bigger movements for those things. Really, the only shoulder, like big shoulder one that I did was the standing military press, or the way they track it in here is seated overhead press. But as far as like recording your big lifts, I prefer the standing military press, mostly because I get to practice walkouts with it because I don't take a step back from the rack. But standing, is easier on my back. I feel like I flex my hips too far forward too often doing them seated. It's a much more natural movement when you're standing than when you're sitting down. And I get a little more of the, like, I can come back more off of like a high press and go up with it. Because I started it that I pick up the bar from the front rack position. Now you basically walk under the bar, get up in the front rack for the first press. I don't start with it high and then like work just from there. I actually take it to the rack position for the first rep at least, and I press from there. I finish back in that position too, and then re-rack. So I have footage of all that, which I may or may not pull up, but I don't want to do this too long. It's already 11:35. I need to go do some cardio again tonight because my shoulder is again bothering me. And not from working out, but we'll get into that in a second. I moved leg day from Friday to Wednesday, and I'm going to change this again. Just part of why I'm doing this thing here, because I want to talk it out a little bit, and not that anybody's going to watch this or anybody's going to be involved in this, but I want to kind of talk it out so that I know what I'm doing. And I talked about this with I more announced this with the wife. Here's what I'm planning on doing, and she just kind of like said, sure, whatever. But Wednesday is now leg day. I tell you what. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Some of these leg exercises were great. Like, I have not done these things in a long time. I've not had this much movement. I've not had this much movement. I'll do it this way because this is the other screen. In a long time. With usually legs were strictly squats, leg extension, leg curl, toe raises. Or standing calf raises, I guess is what they're called here. That was pretty much legs. But I added lunges and step-ups, squat to a bench with dumbbells, and lateral lunges. My legs were killing. No, my legs weren't killing me. My legs were extremely stiff after the lunges. Because I'm not used to doing that long striding down and up and engaging all those muscles. I don't know what my form looked like. I haven't looked at the video of that. But man, I tell you what, I felt it for days. Probably up until Sunday, yesterday. Moving around still felt like, man, I got a good workout of there. Thursday, another back and chest day, inverted rows, barbell. Deadlift always seems to fall on a back day, which makes sense. For some reason, shrugs ends up on shoulders, but we're going to have to rework all this, because what I found was that by the time I got to Friday, which was actually Saturday, because like I said, I started a day late, everything after shrugs hurt. No, I don't want to say that. The alternate bicep curls were not that bad. I did feel like I had to warm it up a little bit, but front two raise, easy bar tricep extension. My left elbow felt very, very tight. The first set was pretty bad. The second set was better. Shoulder, dumbbell lateral raise, it felt weak. I was using the same, all the weights I went back to were the weights that I had from from 2 weeks ago. And actually I even went up on some of them. Having said that, one thing that I ran into on Wednesday on squats, squats were not as big as the week before. I lost my brace in the second set. No, in the third set. Second set? How did we do this here? We did 4 sets. Yes. Okay, so here, yeah. So I started lighter. That doesn't seem right. No. We started the same. I did 275 at 10. We started the same weights. When I got to set 3 here, probably about the 5th rep, I lost my brace. And I kind of turned it into a good morning, but a low good morning. And I got it up, and my back after that was just done. I actually racked up 415, and I got it off, and there was no way if I went down I was coming back up. Not a chance. So I backed it back down to 365. I got one maybe ugly half or 3/4 rep out of it. I counted it, but my back was just toast. That wasn't a chance of me getting anywhere with that. So it kind of threw off the rest of the workout, but not too bad. Leg extensions, leg curls. Actually, calf raises were a little tough because I had to stand and my back wanted to give up. By the time I was down to these last three, which were all dumbbell, well, I mean, they're all lighter weight. It was fine because I was like, I don't want to say it was fine. I went through them quickly. And I went through them quickly partly because it felt good to go through them quickly. And secondly, because I was trying to get it over with. But after squats, squats took me a long time. There was a long period between squats. And then a long period between squats and calf raises. And calf raises, there was a long time between leg extensions. By the time I got to leg extension, though, it went through fairly quickly. Leg extension, leg curls. I boom, 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 you know. There was a little bit of a pause after the first set of leg extensions because I was doing something. I don't know if I still have the timestamp turned on in my videos, but it's a couple of minutes. But then I got back into second set of leg extensions. All the way through everything else was just kind of boom, 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 boom. My back was still killing me, finishing everything up. Squat to a bench felt weird because I would hinge forward, but we got through that. My throat's a little dry right now. Back in chest again on Thursday. Inverted rows, deadlifts. Deadlifts went pretty well. Deadlifts, I actually went and did a PR at 485, which actually went very easy. So my calculated one rep max is now over 500 pounds. I wonder where that came from. Because these were, because I went up one on this and two, I don't know how they calculated that, but the 45 went up easy. I was expecting it to be heavier. And I've run into with this 315 part, when I get up to 6 or 7 or 8 of them, I get a tightness in my I'm going to say it's in my chest. It feels weird, and I can't tell if it's my heart or if it's just my muscles, like from holding my shoulder. I can't figure out what it is. I don't have it. Like I only get the problem when I go for multiple reps. And it doesn't feel like I'm losing, like I'm lightheaded or any of that stuff. And it doesn't feel like a chest pain, but it is in my chest. It feels weird. If you're not familiar with this, I am under the care of a cardiologist. I'm not, and I have no restrictions on activities or anything like that. I have not talked to him specifically about it because it specifically only happens on deadlift. I don't have that problem when I do squats. I don't have that problem when I do bench press. I don't have that problem when I do regular cardio. I don't have that problem when I do any, like the 485 that went up easy was fine. The 412, 415 again was easy. My back was still a little tired doing this from leg day, but I mean, the 485 went up easy. Actually, I felt much better after the 485. But the 465 by 4, I was going to do 7 or 8 of those because I felt like I could, but I didn't want whatever the weird thing was from 315 to come back. So, and I'll say that I've had that same problem with lighter weights as well. So I'm not sure what's going on, but it feels, because it's bilateral. It's not like it's just, it's not like I'm getting something here. It's like here, and it's like the muscles are pulling into my sternum, like I'm rotating my shoulders forward and like I'm flexing, and I'm getting a little bit of a cramp. It's again, it's only after the fifth or sixth rep of deadlift. So I don't know. When I do shrugs, and I was doing shrugs with 315 for 10, that doesn't happen. That's just me standing there with it, shrugging. I don't know. So I have a follow up with my cardiologist. I don't know when. Every 6 months, I think. So August, I believe. If it gets worse, I'll of course get in touch with him or whatever. But I do see him regularly, so I don't worry about that. And for the record, I have not had a heart attack or anything like that. So, but what I do have is some shoulder impingement, which is what this whole video is actually about. Because what I'm going to need to do, first off, this is my push-pull version 1.0. Push-pull version 1.0 is going to give way to push-pull version 2.0. Because what I have found, and this is going back to getting back on the subject of why I was doing this, I do a lot of arms. Our arms and shoulders get worked during chest and back and on arms and shoulders day. I'm going to shave these down together. What I ran into is everything after dumbbell alternate bicep curl was dirt slow and painful, or like concentration curls. This was something I've had a problem with, and I have a problem with if I wear a compression band around my bicep up here, between the bicep and the shoulder. I can do more concentration curls with my right hand. By the first set, and I do 2 sets of that. Like here, I was working my way up to it. Added some more weight. Here I was having problems. This week, these 2 weeks I was wearing bands. This week I was not. This week I was again, and this week I was not. But I base these numbers based on how many I can do with my right arm, because my right arm gets tired. So, right arm, left arm, right arm. If I can't do well with the right arm, I scrap it and go back to the left arm. And then I do the same for the left arm, just for symmetry. My left arm could have done 10 or 12 with a 32.5-pound dumbbell. My right arm, the bicep has enough strength for it, but I feel like tied in with all this my right bicep is very tight. And when I do my stretches for my shoulder, I can feel, especially when I'm back this way, like right now, I can feel it's like it runs here and then down here towards the upper part of the bicep, which is probably part of all of this chain here is all tight. Like I can do this and I can feel the tension like right in here. So it's off the rotator cuff. It's on the upper bicep tendon connector thingies. They typically don't hurt at the same time. Today they happen to, because I was doing some stuff outside in the yard today, trying to. We have a pool that we got with the house, and by the way, if you don't have a swimming pool, you're thinking about getting one, don't. Find a community pool. Find a friend with a pool. They're a lot of work, and like I don't get to use mine that much, but the kids seem to like it. And until the pool dies, which probably won't be too long from now, the pool or the deck dies, we'll be dealing with it every year. But so I have a leaf cover that goes over it. I didn't scrape any of the leaves off of it this year before I tried to take it off. I kind of had about 350, 400 pounds worth of wet leaves and pine needles and at this point algae growing in the ball of leaves that I had, which is probably about the size of that box. I know you can't see that box. Probably a 3 foot by 4 foot wad of wet leaves that I finally got out of the pool today. Trying to pull it, just gripping because the leaf cover is a net, and just lifting it out, pulling this way out of the pool. Didn't work. I finally got a branch, a stick I wrapped around it, and then kind of just deadlifted it out of the pool. That worked fine. Actually came out fine that way, but somewhere in the process, it tweaked my shoulder, and it's been bothering me all day, and like it would hurt to lay down and then just relax it into the ground. So because of this, I'm not working out tonight. I got to do shoots. I got like 3 minutes to go start some cardio. I'm going to have to redo my whole workout thing for version 2.0 because I'm dumping one of my arm and shoulder days. They get worked on all these other days. I'm going to keep the 2 back and chest days, but I'm going to double up on leg days. I had fun on my leg day, but leg day is going to move to not just from Wednesday. I'm going to do, and I'll do another one when I actually talk more about this, but I don't have time tonight. Monday is going to be back and chest. Tuesday will be leg day 1. Wednesday will be arms and shoulders. There will only be 1 arm and shoulder day. Thursday will be leg day 2. Friday we'll go back and do arms and chest, or back and chest again, so that my 1 arm day has 1 day at least separating it for recovery, and my chest will have no more than 2 days separating it, chest and back, because I'll do Saturday, Sunday typically as cardio. And by cardio I mean light cardio. I don't mean anything like super heavy, but and I'll get 2 days worth of legs in there. I'll have to figure out how to add more leg stuff, break some of this stuff. Some of the stuff I'm going to keep. I don't think I'm going to do squat 2 days. Squat may only be 1 day. Leg extension and leg curls may only be the same day. I may do more calf raises. I may do some of these other step ups, bench squats, dumbbell lunges. I may do some box jumps, things like that type of stuff that I'll have to go through. There's lots of leg exercises to choose from in this app, but I'll have to incorporate some of this stuff into 1 arm and shoulder day because I've got 2 of them. I gotta keep the barbell tricep extensions and the barbell curls because those work their way into metric that are tracked by this. Maybe I'll dump bench dips and reverse pre-curl. I want to include I want to include something for the top and bottom of the forearm. I do have on my 1 arm day, I do have 1 arm wrist curl over bench. Basically it's a this type of thing. I want to keep that. I need some part of like every muscle that I have that works towards a pull up is weak. No, most of the major muscles I had that work towards that are weak. My biceps are fine. My lats are weak. My forearm muscles, right in here, they're not what they used to be. My forearm is fairly solid, but the bicep can pull. I'm not getting. I mean, it's got to be strong anyway because I'm still about 312 somewhere ish, so that's a lot of weight to pull. I'm not Eric Bugenhagen doing pull-ups at 235 with 120 something pounds or 130 pounds, underneath him. I would have to be as strong as he is in order to complete that, just as I am now, and I'm not. So my goal, one of my things I'd like to do by the end of the year is at least one pull-up. Hopefully I drop some enough pounds, which my weight is still staying where it is. Hopefully adding another leg day will help that, because it'll be more cardio and more solid cardio than what I'm doing now. That's basically it. So I'm going to move the stuff around. I might do another stream talking about how that goes. But I just started to version. I wanted to start using a versioning in here. Push-pull version 1.0. I did set a rule for myself the first day, because the first day I started this, I had flipped some stuff around before I did the workout, and I decided not to make that 1.1 because I hadn't done it. So if I do an exercise, then that locks it in to, if I do a workout, that locks it in for that particular day. I think what I did was like the barbell bent over row. I had 4 sets on. I took one off. Because it's not one of the big 4. I don't want to do at least 4 sets, but I dropped it down to 3. And I think bench press I only had 3 on. So I upped that to 4, because that's one of the big 4. I edited that on the fly, saved it. I didn't reversion this to 1.1 because I hadn't done them when I did that. That makes sense? But if I do a workout and then let's say I come back in here and say, you know what, this Arnold press didn't work well for me. So if I just came in and delete and just changed the Arnold press, then I'd be at a 1.1. Or if I came in here and I flipped half of these things around, that might be a 1.1, 1.2, depending on the versioning. But because I'm shifting workout days and I'm moving legs to 2 days and arms and shoulders to 1 day, it's a whole nother workout, even if back and shoulder days stay the same, because I'm moving enough stuff around. Like, I'm moving days, so that has to be a different version. Not that any of you care about that. Not that anybody's watching. Not that anybody's going to go back and watch this again, but hey, that's... Man, I sound really hoarse. Yeah, I'm not going to do it tonight. I got all week now because I'm skipping today, resting my shoulder up for another week because I screwed it up. I took some Advil like 2 hours ago, and I can move it again, and I don't have to go really slow. But that's fine. I need to keep it that way so that when I go back to it next week, because Friday it was too much. By the end of Thursday, some of the stuff was getting a little funky. Like the pullover on an exercise ball felt like a good stretch, but it felt harder on my shoulder joints than it should have. I might have to change this barbell reverse grip incline bench row because I kept hitting the thing, but that was actually a good workout. It's a pull up to the bench at a 90-degree angle with your hands supinated. Yeah, supinated. So it's good, like pulling for the lats in particular. So I might do more of that. I want to keep that in there. Do I have dumbbells on there? The dumbbell one's on there somewhere. I have the dumbbell. 2-arm row on an incline bench. And that's on an incline bench. Yeah, incline bench, 2-arm row. So, but those are more pronated grips. That work more the mid back instead of the lower lats. So, all right, that's it. Get out of here. You should be in bed anyway.